Someone told me I'm never going to succeed as an entrepreneur.
Somebody close.
I've been broke. When I was starting Mindvalley, I'd lost all of my money. There's a famous story about Edison where he would go into afternoon naps holding a metal ball in his hand. And as Edison would sleep, his hand would drop, the ball would hit the ground. It would create a clang that would wake him up. He was dipping into the theta frequency, coming up with new ideas. I raised $2 million for a startup and I abandoned it after 6 months. My kids are amazing human beings. What is the secret of a great relationship? And he held up his hands like this. He said, this is the secret, not this. What do you mean? He said, look.
Vishen Lakhiani, founder and CEO of Mindvalley, a transformative educational technology company that has empowered millions worldwide. So today we explore new developments, including the latest Mindvalley events and their upcoming Future Human Dubai event in January 2025. What's your vision for January event in Dubai?
If we don't...
I love Mindvalley. There's this terrific sense of unification that takes place.
I love the people that attend Mindvalley events. You know, whenever I come to these events, I get reignited in my passion and in my purpose.
Mindvalley is one of the most powerful personal growth platforms in the world.
I love how well they put on these events, from the beautiful environments that they create to the different activities that provide more connection.
I am Mindvalley. I am the lessons, the quests, the people, the community. Some of my closest relationships today come from people I've met through Mindvalley.
Welcome back, Alpha Squad, to another inspiring episode of the Alpha Talks show, the #1 fastest growing show in the region. Today we have a returning guest, not just a guest. He's a friend, a true alpha, a true visionary entrepreneur, best-selling author, and a global thought leader who has reshaped the world of personal growth and education. Our guest is none other than Vishen Lakhiani, founder and CEO of Mindvalley, a transformative educational technology company that has empowered millions worldwide. In our last conversation, we delved into his journey and the rise of Mindvalley. So today we explore new developments, including the latest Mindvalley events and their upcoming Future Human Dubai event in January 2025, as well as we deep insight on his personal and professional growth. So welcome back, Vishen, to the Alpha Talks show.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you again and pleasure to see you again.
I love being on this show. I love the resonance of your voice. It's like your voice is an auditory massage.
Oof,
you know, it just makes you relax. I love that.
Thank you, Vishen. I really appreciate coming back. We always start with people, when we launch the episode, they will see all the graphics, the thumbnail, the title, and they will think it's extremely interesting episode. What can you promise them today to gain if they gave us their time?
Well, the unique thing about what I speak about and what I teach is that I'm an integrator. I've interviewed thousands of people. On my platform, we have 100 of the world's greatest teachers. I study many different minds and I connect and correlate their wisdom in a wide array of fields, all around one topic: how to be a better human.
Wow.
So I don't obviously know the questions you're going to ask me. We could be talking about relationships, we could be talking about health, we could be talking about improving productivity at work. But I do promise the listener this: what I share with you is going to be some of the finest advice, and it's going to be directly applicable, and it's going to be from some of the best sources in the world.
Wow. Vishen, you've really interviewed over thousands of people.
Right.
That's something. I'm starting my career in that. What are the main things that you believe that makes people successful after all these interviews? The key pillars.
Right.
Is it a mindset or it's a skill set?
So it's definitely not a skill set. So let's talk about mind and skill, right? There's this this incredible story about and it was Zig Ziglar, the motivational speaker, who told this story. So Zig Ziglar was giving a talk at a company, and he asked the company to list down all the qualities that made their best employees. So, and he wrote them all down on the board, and some were friendly disposition. Another one was really great at Excel sheets. Another one would be highly communicative. Another one would be caring and empathetic. Another one would be good listener. Another one would be amazing programmer. Another one would be fast code optimizer. And then he went through all of these characteristics and he pushed the management team. They came up with 90. He says, no, we got to go further. In the end, they had 107.
Okay.
Now, he then went to all of these qualities and he wrote down skill, S, or attitude, A. So attitude and mindset mean the same thing, right?
True.
Attitude or skill. And what he found is of this 114 total, roughly 20 or so was skill, and the rest, 80 to 90%, were attitude.
Oof.
Then his message to the management team was this. As you can see, your best people, it's the mindset, it's the attitude, it's not the skill. Yet, look at your job ads, look at how you're hiring. We hire for skill. Skill is something you can learn. If you hire for attitude, if you hire for mindset, those people, they can pick up any skill. And they can go beyond that limited skill list that you think about to conquer any problem.
Wow.
Now, the lesson here is this. Mindset is what is important. Skills are things that any smart person can learn. Skills
True.
are stuff that ChatGPT and AI agents are going to be able to take over. But the mindset, and the mindset here we're talking about is your ambition, your ability to connect with people, your communication, the way you communicate, all of these different things, your confidence, your friendliness, your empathy, your compassion, all of these things are what make you the best human being out there.
Wow.
It's always mindset. But if you think about it, our education system, they focus obsessively on skills, and they're creating people who are incomplete.
Vishen, if I ask you, if people want to develop their mindset, from where they start?
So
It's always the start, but from where they start?
So, the most important thing to understand is that there are certain principles of mindset that we know, that have been studied, that we know lead to success, that lead to a better quality of life, right? And there's a wide array of different things, but I can share with you some of the principles which I think are super important.
Yeah.
Now, the first one is accessing altered states of awareness. Most of us function in just a waking frequency. But if you can learn to go into alpha frequency, which is a relaxed brainwave state, you're able to tap into abilities to accelerate healing, to reprogram your subconscious, to remove doubts, to almost self-hypnosis. That's one. Now, under altered states, you can also tap into theta levels of functioning. This is where you're able to function at even deeper levels of rest and relaxation, where you're able to tap into heightened creativity and intuition.
Wow.
There's a famous story about Edison where he would go into afternoon naps holding a metal ball in his hand. And as Edison would sleep, his hand would drop, the ball would hit the ground, it would create a clang that would wake him up. He was dipping into the theta frequency, coming up with new ideas. And by the way, this has been studied by science, and people who nap before solving a problem are 80% better at solving this math problem. Okay, so we spoke about first the altered state dimension, being able to access alpha, being able to access theta. This is hardcore.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of training, but these are some of the most powerful aspects of like top performers. Now, there's more. There's the concept of overachievement. People with the right mindset, they aim for goals that are typically beyond them. They don't know how they're going to get to the goal. Many people will say they're delusional. Many people will say they're not being realistic. They don't give a damn. Realism to them is something worth shattering. There's a whole book on this topic called Overachievement, right? And Overachievement speaks about how the best people in the world, they aim beyond. They say screw realism. Another aspect of mindset is understanding that when things go wrong, there is a gem of learning opportunity. Okay, so you may call this adaptivity quotient. We may call this the ability to learn from mistakes, but they don't obsess over the mistakes. A mistake goes wrong, they immediately know, okay, this is what I learned, this is what I learned, this is what I learned, this is how I'm going to adjust, and then they move forward on their goal. Adaptivity is so important if you're building a business or if you're looking to do anything big in life. And then there's the mindset of connectedness. This means you respect other people. You feel connected to other people. You're kind. You're generous with your praise. You do good. You do not want to harm or manipulate. You go into any relationship with a win-win attitude, whether it's a love relationship or a business partnership. There are so many people in the world today, I dare say the majority of people, if you go into a business partnership, they want to win over you.
Yeah.
That's not a future human. A future human, the ideal human that we want to help create as Mindvalley, everything is win-win. So these are just five interesting mindset principles, right? But there's a lot more. And these come from a variety of different books, a variety of different thinkers.
True.
But it is mindset that creates the best functioning humans.
A lot of people I see around Vision that they act in a way that they're victims. And that's a mindset, of course, right?
Right.
For the people and the majority of them listening to us, that like, okay, the situation, the economy, the government, my family, my education, they're always in a victim state. How they get out of this?
So the way to get out of that is to understand the concept of personal sovereignty. Whatever we experience in life, we are sovereign over that. Sovereign meaning we are the ruler. We are the ruler of our own life. And we can choose how we want to deal with any situation, with any circumstance. I remember talking to the famous MBA professor, Sri Kumar Rao, right? And Sri Kumar Rao is a MBA professor. He teaches at some of the top schools in the world, and his course, Personal Mastery, is officially on Mindvalley. So on Mindvalley, we have about 100 of the world's greatest teachers, and their official courses are there for one subscription. And Rao told me this interesting story about this rickshaw driver in India that he met. He said he was in India. He was on this rickshaw, and this rickshaw driver had nothing. He was basically sleeping in a shell of a home. He had no kids. He had no wife. He had no money. All he did was pull a rickshaw. But he said this rickshaw driver was so happy. He was so absolutely happy. He was talking. He was joking. He was jovial. He loved
Fulfilled.
life. Despite his circumstance, and of course, in those circumstances, it can be hard to climb out. But despite that circumstance, he had chosen to build himself an amazing life. It is not the circumstance. It is how you view that circumstance. And Rao goes on to say, when you start looking at what is around you, and you get into that feeling of appreciation, of gratitude, you attract more. So you can be a broke rickshaw driver. As you start appreciating that which you have, you attract more and more. What you appreciate appreciates.
True.
So the way to get out of victim mentality is to understand that there is a part of your life that you are completely sovereign over. You are sovereign over your feelings. You can be broke. You can be homeless. You can still choose how you want to live your life. And when you can do this, bit by bit by bit by bit, you shift your mindset. And that shift in mindset is what can get you to a higher and higher and higher quality of life.
Wow.
But we decide how we want to feel. I've been broke. When I was starting Mindvalley, I'd lost all of my money. I couldn't even afford rent. So I was sleeping on the couch of a friend that I had in Silicon Valley. I started out my career broke on a friend's couch. We all sometimes go through these situations, but it is the mindset. It's that glimmer of hope. It's that attitude that this will not crush me. It's that idea, appreciating, despite being in a friend's couch, I appreciated and was grateful that I had a friend looking after me, that I had a roof over my head, that the couch was somewhat comfortable. Those things help you come up.
And builds your
up.
character, builds your, it crafts you. Vision, I want to take another tangent, which I think I never talked about on the show, which is relationships. How do you see relationship these days versus the past, and how partners in a relationship, I mean a man and a woman, what they should do these days with what's happening around us to thrive, to have a healthy, thriving relationship?
So that's really interesting. So I've interviewed several relationship experts. In fact, I just came from a Mindvalley conference in Ibiza. And we had all of these incredible couples who've been together 20, 30 years of all ages on stage, and we did like an interview. And many of these were leading edge teachers of relationship, of sexuality, of ideal conscious partnerships. All of them, interestingly, had different advice. They all had different advice. And so there is no one, this fits all.
Blueprint. Yeah.
But a couple of things that I noticed that was really interesting is, so we were talking about Lifebook. Lifebook is a program you get, right? John and Missy Butcher, the founders of Lifebook. So firstly, Lifebook, for those of you who don't know, is a goal-setting program. Mindvalley acquired the company, and we love it. And the founders are incredible American entrepreneurs. They've been together, I think, approaching now 40 years, 5 grandkids, so dedicated to each other. And I interviewed them and asked them, what makes your marriage work? And these were a couple of things that they said. So one they said is, they are so deliberate about the personal growth of relationships. Number one, every Thursday is date night for
Date
them.
nights.
They will leave the kids with a nanny. They will check into a hotel. They will bring all sorts of sexy
True.
items, and they will have the most romantic date night just with the two of them. And they're now in their 60s, and they've been doing this for decades, right? That date night idea. The second thing is, and I don't know if I can say this in the Dubai podcast,
Go ahead.
but is sexual exploration.
Yeah.
Experimenting with new ways of making love.
True.
I interviewed Jamie Wheel. He wrote the book Recapture the Rapture, which is again, and Jamie Wheel has been with his partner for decades. One of the most important things he said is sexual exploration. You don't just have sex in one way.
And routine-ish. And
Routine-ish. You want to experiment. Like sex is like cooking. There's so many different recipes. There's so much extra spice you can add. A lot of that is beyond the
podcast
topic of a Dubai podcast. But I think the people here get what I'm talking about.
100%.
Right? Now, the third one is, the third advice came from an interview I did in India with the Indian mystic Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. So this was a women's conference, and I was honored to be asked to interview Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. And a lady in the audience said, "What is the secret of a great relationship?" And he held up his hands like this. He said, This is the secret, not this. So I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Look, in most relationships, people bend towards each other. But what happens is that you start bending and moving towards each other. You've given up your own meanings, your own dreams, and eventually you part ways."
Wow.
He says you want to be this. Both the man and the wife have your own goals, have your own mission, have your own dharma in life, which is a Hindu concept of why our souls are here. And you are moving towards it, but you're facing each other, stoically supporting each other, being strong for each other, but you don't miss, you're moving in parallel.
Wow.
And that's another really important thing. We cannot lose ourselves in our relationship. And so some of the best couples I've interviewed, they have really interesting habits. They will be together, but sometimes they take a month apart, right? And in that month apart, they sometimes don't even want to talk to each other. They want to be by themselves. So this sounds weird, but they say that this helps make their coupling better. And so there are these three pieces of advice. Deliberate date nights. You schedule time for your relationship. Sexual exploration, because sex makes everything better, and it is one of the most spiritual acts we can do. It's just that our modern society condemns it, vilifies it, makes it seem dirty. We got to get that out of our heads. And third, maintaining sovereignty over who you are. These three ingredients, I believe, are the recipe for a really great relationship. Now, of course, there's the typical stuff.
True.
There's love, there's care, there's compassion, there's kindness, but you guys have heard that.
I love the part of also separation because it really ignites something unknown. Like this one, you talked about the couples that takes apart a month away.
Yeah.
It ignites something. When they reunite again,
Exactly. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
there is another level that I see people that they live in a separate bedroom. Is it part of it or not?
It depends.
So it's, as you said, there is no blueprint.
Now, you're living in a separate bedroom. Are they really happy in their relationship? I know if I'm with someone, I don't want to be in a separate bedroom. Like, I want to sleep every night. Like, I want to feel their body next to me. I want to cuddle. I want to be able to touch them. I don't want to be in a separate bedroom. But if someone believes that that is what they need, sure.
Okay.
As long as they haven't given up on incredible, juicy sex.
True.
Date nights. So you want to be separate. Notice there's a time to be separate, but there's a time you have to merge.
The bond.
There's a time you have to be intimate.
True.
Otherwise, it's not a relationship. It's a friendship.
True. Vishen, now I want to circle to spirituality. A lot of people doesn't get the concept of spirituality. And they think, okay, for example, like I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, what do you mean by spirituality? I already read my Bible, I already read my Quran, I connect with my God, I pray. What is the concept of spirituality?
That's a loaded
yes.
question. That's a loaded question. Spirituality in one thing is connectedness. When we talk about God, we're talking about a connection to God. Whether you believe in Buddhist, Hindu concepts of religion where you are God, or you believe in a monotheistic religion where God is something separate from you and we are devoted to God, it's about connection to God. Now, the problem is, many
Whatever
people of
God-
religious nature, right, they are connected to God, but they then get disconnected from other human beings. So they decide, my God, my connection to God, my way of connecting to God is correct. Those other people are wrong. And as soon as we say other people are wrong, or we're the chosen people, the other people, they are not the chosen people, or we are special, the other people, oh, their culture is off, they are backwards, we create so much strife in the world. True. As soon as you see that you feel that you're disconnected from other human beings, you're not spiritual anymore. You're dogmatic.
True.
You've let the rules of organized religion take over. So you've got to have a connection to God, but you must have a connection to all human beings. Now, there is a measurement for this. The great philosopher Ken Wilber, he's also one of the teachers I've learned from and have on Mindvalley. He says that there are 4 stages of human development. Okay? Right at the bottom stage is what we call egocentric. So an egocentric person believes that they are special. It's all about the ego. They are pure narcissists. They believe they are more special than other human beings. We find egocentrism a lot in certain politicians, especially politicians who are hyper right-wing and vilify other people for votes. They will condemn and vilify just for votes, and we all know whom I'm talking about. We find egocentric cultures in prisons. These are, especially like high security prisons where people have murdered, people have raped. Why do they do that? Because they feel themselves better than other people. That's egocentrism. Roughly 2% of the world, 1 to 2%. It's going down though. Now, as you evolve as a human being, you move to ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism is, yes, I'm kind, yes, I'm connected, but you're kind and connected to people like you. People of the same color, of the same religion, who sit under the same flag. So we see ethnocentrism in 65 to 70% of the world population. 65 to 70%. So you will see in many European countries, people, they are super kind, they are super nice, but then a refugee comes in with a slightly different skin color, and they're like, no. This person is going to corrupt our culture. Ethnocentrism has some usefulness to it. It maintains national identity, but it's not the highest level. There's a level beyond that called world-centrism. World-centrism is when you see yourself as a citizen of the world. When you're ethnocentric, you will still get maybe a little bit upset if your son or daughter marries someone of a different religion, if your son or daughter marries someone of a different race. And the more different that race or religion is, the more it makes you uncomfortable. Ethnocentrism is about familiarity, but it's not where our species needs to go. World-centrism is different. Have you ever seen Star Trek?
Yeah, of course.
The Futures of Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry, the fictional writer the science fiction writer who came up with it, is beautiful. In Star Trek, it's all different cultures coming together. In the first Star Trek was the first TV show that showed a white man kissing a black woman. And it was controversy at that time.
True.
But Star Trek is giving us a glimpse of what that future beholds. We don't care about the color of skin. We don't care about religion in terms of who we marry. We should be opening our borders to people who need help, not saying, oh, their culture is different. And I can cite all the evidence that shows that this concept of difference is often a myth. That's world-centrism. Someone who's world-centric, I consider myself world-centric. I love my country, Malaysia. I love the country I stay in, Estonia. I love the Emirates. I love the USA, where I was educated, but the only flag I will wear on my backpack is the Earth flag. And that Earth flag does exist. I will never frickin' go to war for any country, because I would rather give up my national identity, give up my religion, than kill another person because they were born without their choice as a soul in a different culture.
Wow, Vishen.
Now, when you understand this, you can never be manipulated by religion or politics. And religion and politics are the source of war. It is not human unkindness. It is the way religion and politics take away our spirituality by telling us connect to God this way, but cutting off our connection to human beings in a wider sense.
Wow.
We need to move the world towards world-centrism. This is, by the way, a key part of what we do at Mindvalley.
Wow.
Now, by the way, there's a level above that.
No way.
1% of the world has it. It's called cosmocentrism, spelled with a K. Cosmocentrism is where you feel connected, not just to human beings, but any sentient species. If an alien lands on the planet and this alien walks out of the spaceship and the alien is covered with slime and has these tentacles as tongues, you will still go and hug that person because, look, the person's sentient. When you're cosmocentric, you care deeply about all life. You care about all life. You care about all species. You deeply care about the way the earth is going. You deeply care about the extinction that's happening across species today. Cosmocentrism is the next level, but that's about 1% of the world population, according to Ken Wilber.
Wow.
Right now, it's good enough if we can get to world centrism. And world centrism means this. 3 rules. Number 1, this is going to be controversial, but sure, raise your kid to appreciate your culture, but never condemn another culture. Raise your kid in your religion if you want to. I allow my kids to choose their religion, but teach them about other religions and don't vilify or say other religions are wrong. Number 2, don't ever, ever, ever vote for any politician that seeks to manipulate you by vilifying the other. The politicians who do that, you'll notice something common about them. A lot of them are criminals.
True.
Netanyahu.
Yeah.
I mean, he's facing jail time.
Yeah.
Trump facing jail time.
Yeah.
This is a sign of egocentrism. They're literally manipulating their own people and then blaming other cultures, other races, so they can stay out of jail and stay in power. Unfortunately, ignorant people fall for them and give them votes.
Majority, a lot of people.
So how you vote matters. Vote for politicians that go beyond race and ethnicity. And the third thing is this. Travel. Have friends of different cultures. Explore different cultures. Take your children to see all parts of the world. I travel with my kids to a new country every year. My son is learning his 6th language.
Wow.
My kids are students of the world. I asked my son, do you feel Estonian? And he goes, no. He speaks Estonian. He feels as a member of the human species.
World.
And
Earth.
that's how we need to raise all our kids. These 3 rules: teach your culture, teach your religion, but never vilify another religion, and get your kids to explore other religions. And if they want to change religions, let them. Number 2, who you vote for matters. Understand, and this seems so basic, but it's so crazy that people still fall for it, that right-wingers get votes. And the third one, expose your kids to all cultures.
Wow. Vishen, I want to ask you a question. A lot of people want to be spiritual in a way, but they don't know how to go there. Is it a calling to be spiritual? No. Like you need to pass through a trauma or something?
No,
then
it's
what?
The way we label spirituality today
Exactly.
is so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. We think we have to go on a 12-day silent retreat to be spiritual. We think we have to go to an ashram and spend 3 months there. That doesn't make you spiritual. Sometimes it makes you disconnected.
True.
You want to be spiritual? Yes, you can believe in a higher power or not. I don't care if you're an atheist. You can be an atheist and still be spiritual. Spiritual is connectedness. If you want to be spiritual, care about nature. Care about the environment. Most of all, care about other human beings. Be kind. Be appreciative. Be generous. Don't think you're kind because you donate money to charities in your own country. You take care of your own people. But then your kindness stops outside your border, your religion, or your ethnic identity. If you can move beyond that and see yourself as a kindred spirit with all human beings, that is spiritual.
Wow, I love that. Vishen, I want to move to entrepreneurship in general.
Yeah.
You built something that a lot of people are proud of, Mindvalley. You went through the ups and downs and downs and downs and downs. How do you see entrepreneurship now? I see it as more of a trendy thing.
Right.
People just want to be an entrepreneur because now I just want to be famous. From Vishen, what is entrepreneurship for you?
So, I don't think it's a trendy thing.
Yeah.
But I do think entrepreneurship gets more praise than it deserves. I wanted to be an entrepreneur at one point, but really, you got to look at the emotion behind the word. You see, everything that we seek in life, whether it's a fancy car, or it's owning a business, or it's a job title, it's not that.
Yeah.
That's what society programs you to get. There's something beyond it. We want the fancy car, the Mercedes, for significance. We want to feel significant. We want the expensive watch, maybe to feel proud of ourselves, maybe to feel good. We want entrepreneurship, to be an entrepreneur, typically for freedom and meaning. Now, what if you can get freedom and meaning in a different way? What if you're not an entrepreneur, but you decide you want to write a book or you want to start a podcast, and that gives you meaning?
Yeah.
And because you can travel as you do that, that gives you freedom. Do you really need to go through the trials and tribulations of trying to start a business? Because I know so many entrepreneurs who fall into the trap of chasing entrepreneurship and are making less money than if they'd stayed with a corporate job.
True.
They have less freedom because if they don't work on their business perpetually 10 hours a day,
24/7,
they go
yeah.
bankrupt. They have less meaning because they've decided to build a business for money, but they absolutely hate what they are doing. And I've been there. In 2010, I raised $2 million from Intel Capital Ventures to start a business in Malaysia with other entrepreneurs. We were trying to build a Silicon Valley a type business. It was a clone of Groupon, which at that point was the fastest growing company in America. And we were trying to build it for Malaysia. There were 19 other startups doing the same thing. All of us were chasing money. And 6 months into it, I felt so miserable. I quit. I literally gave up my shares to my
way.
co-founders and I said, listen,
I'm
guys,
done.
I'm out. Because I understood that I was chasing someone else's dream. I was chasing that societal dream, start a startup.
Wow.
And I hated it. Absolutely hated it. So I gave up hundreds of thousands of dollars in shares. And I remember the investors were a little bit pissed off at me. So what did I do? I decided to, so around that time, I took Lifebook. And when I took Lifebook really makes you think about what your soul wants. And as I started putting
Can
down
I stop you
what
here
yeah,
a sec? You started the live book before Mindvalley?
exactly. So I took Lifebook. It was a separate company
Yeah.
in 2010. Mindvalley existed, but Mindvalley was just building websites.
Yeah.
So I took Lifebook in April 2010. And I wrote down I wanted to travel. I wrote down I wanted to speak on stage. I wasn't speaking back then. I wrote down I wanted to have inspiring friends. Around 10 months later, it's amazing. When you write these goals down, your head starts spinning, right? So I unplugged myself from I want to have a Silicon Valley startup goal. And I started deciding what are the feelings, the emotions I want. I want to be inspired. I want to travel. I want to be with my kids. I want to have incredible friends. And I came up with the idea for a festival. And it started accidentally. I called it A Fest. It took place in Costa Rica. And the festival sold out.
Wow.
And it's still running today. I just came from
Yeah, we're
A
gonna
Fest
talk
in
about
Ibiza,
this
14
in
years
details.
later. But what's the lesson there, right? The lesson
Sorry,
is...
I'm interrupting you because
Yeah.
I am impressed. You started Livebook before Mindvalley,
Yeah.
and Mindvalley acquired
Exactly.
Livebook down the line.
Right. Right.
Super proud.
Yeah, and A Fest, that festival, gave me a glimpse of what my future was. I started speaking. Through the teachers on A Fest, I built up Mindvalley membership, which today is over 100 million in revenue. The
Wow.
festival itself doesn't make money. In fact, when it generates money, I give it away. I give it away to fund education of poor kids. We give it away to fund people who need money, refugees. We give it away. But A Fest gives me this incredible network. I bring these great teachers onto our app, and our app now is so successful, Apple just selected it to be a demo app on iPhone 16
We're
and
gonna
Apple
talk
stores
about
globally.
this. I love that. So, Vishen, if somebody comes and tell you, should I go to become a corporate like guy or starting my entrepreneurship, you will answer him depends on
Who
what.
cares?
Who cares?
Which is going to give you freedom? And sometimes corporate guys have more freedom.
True.
Because at 7 p.m. you can switch your mind off.
True.
If you're an entrepreneur,
the weekend,
you
done.
cannot switch your mind off.
True.
You're working weekends, right? So yes, you might have less holiday weeks, but you have Saturday and Sunday. You know, when I started my business, there was no Saturday or Sunday
For a long time.
for a long time. Yeah.
I love that. Vishen, one of the things that I love about you and Mindvalley is the community that you've built. You've built it through an online platform, and you've built it also through events. Will be something small if I said events. No, festivals, carnivals. Let's talk a little bit about A-Fest, which came out, you said, out of a sudden coincidence, correct?
Yeah. Maybe we could ask about Future Human.
Yes, but I want to go
Okay,
towards
got it,
Future
got it,
Human.
yeah.
So it's not A-Fest.
Right.
Then you have the Mindvalley University. It's something out of the bloom.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then you're taking it further towards the Dubai big thing that's going to happen in Jan.
So
A-Fest. What was the concept behind?
So Mindvalley, firstly, is an online company,
Yeah.
right? With the world's greatest personal growth courses in mind, body, spirit, entrepreneurship, and so on. People study everything from spirituality to AI.
Yeah.
But I would get bored if I didn't have a physical way to meet our customers, to connect them. So there are 3 different events that we created. The first one is A-Fest. A-Fest started even before the Mindvalley app. It was a festival for entrepreneurs, 200 to 300 entrepreneurs at a time in an exotic location. We just came back from one done at the Six Senses in Ibiza. We pick a theme, we bring in amazing authors, and it's about going deep into that theme, but also the entrepreneurs connecting with each other.
Wow. How long is it? It's a couple of
It's
days?
4 days.
Ah,
It's
nice.
a very
Yeah.
high-end luxury event.
Yeah.
Very high-end luxury event. 4 days, you meet the most amazing people, right? And it's just really, 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 really exotic, really luxe. But it's only for 300 people. So we created another event that can have thousands. Now, this other event was created because I wanted to be able to learn with my kids. So we created an event called Mindvalley University. This event goes between 2 weeks to 3 weeks. So we're talking 14 to 21 days.
Wow.
But it's half days. So people come, thousands of people move to a city together. The next one is happening in Amsterdam. Thousands of people move, and about 30% of them bring their kids. And there are incredible speakers from all around the world who come. They take the stage, over 100 speakers. 50 are world-class Mindvalley speakers. 50 we choose from the community.
Wow.
So this is also how we discover talent.
Ah, lovely.
All of these speakers also teach children's classes. So we have a class for teenagers, a class for 3 to 6, a class for 6 to 9, 9 to 12. All of the kids come together and they learn things that they cannot learn in school. Imagine your children learning from John and Missy Butcher of
Yeah.
Life book, right? They came and they taught art to the kids. Imagine your kids learning how to master their mind with Marissa Peer.
Yeah.
All of these things happen. And for 2 to 3 weeks, these children go through a transformation and the adults go through a transformation. And so it's insane that thousands of people are going to be moving to Amsterdam this next year in 2025, August 1 to August 14,
Wow.
to take part in Mindvalley
So
University.
every year it's in a different city.
Right,
I
we
love
move
the
it.
concept.
We move it.
Wow.
Now, the third event is like Web Summit, but for humanism. It's looking, and this is Future Human, and we chose Dubai because I love this city. It's happening
Wow.
at the Expo Center.
Tell us
And-
about it.
Exactly. So Future Human, super affordable event. It's 3 days, and it looks at what are the qualities and the mindset shifts that make you a powerful human being.
I love how
Spiritually
you
connected.
refer to it as a human being.
Yes.
Always.
Because we're about to enter an age where AI is going to disrupt everything. So day one, we look at how can you get so productive that you can shave off at least a day of work a week. And we look at how to optimize your brain, how to optimize your thinking, how to access altered states of mind so you can improve your productivity, how to get your energy system up, and also how to leverage AI. Right? We have some incredible AI speakers coming. We have this one speaker, Man and Dave. He just won 5 awards at CES for inventing Mercedes Sound Drive, which is a new AI tool. Just came back from speaking on AI to the Pope, one of our speakers.
Wow.
Amazing speakers. And then day 2 is all about body. And we're going to show you the most scientifically optimized ways to improve your energy, to live longer, improve the quality of your skin, improve your musculature, feel better in your body. You're going to get a total blueprint that you can execute in your life. And the third day is about the mind and manifesting. The third day is about how much your mind influences your reality, can influence your healing, can move you towards your goals. You can shift and master your emotions. And we bring in again some of the greatest teachers in the world. It's all at mindvalley.com/future human.
I'll put in the description of course the link.
Right.
But I want who are the can you tell us who are the speakers? How many speakers with 3 days
So
expo?
firstly,
That's huge.
The 3 biggest speakers are yet to be announced.
Yeah.
We have booked them, but we are announcing them in phases.
Oh my god.
But even then,
There is no
the
exclusivity for
speakers
the
right
show?
now are incredible. You learn from Lisa Nichol. She's one of the greatest storytellers on earth. Marissa Peer, one of the greatest hypnotherapists. I'm going to be speaking.
Lovely.
Cameron Harold is speaking.
Yeah.
He's an incredible CEO trainer. He's the founder of 1-800-GOT-JUNK,
Yeah.
huge company. Man and Dave going to be speaking on AI. Tons of incredible speakers. Gwyneth Paltrow's yoga teacher is going to
Wow.
be there. And then in addition to the main stage, there are lots of embodiment stages
I
where
wanted
you
to
can
ask
go
about
and you
this.
can move your body. You can learn these different practices. But
So
it's
there is indoor and outdoor?
indoor and outdoor, yes.
Wow.
And then there's like a showcase floor with tons of different new technologies, new products that improve you as a human being.
And of course it's a full day, like people come in from the morning
Full
to
day. It's like from 9 to 5. You can stay
Wow.
till 6 because it's happening the same time as the Coldplay conference.
Yeah.
People are coming for the Coldplay
Yeah.
concert. This is a great thing to do. And you can get a 2-day ticket. So depending on what day you're attending Coldplay,
Yeah.
you can just
Switch,
attend the other
yeah.
2 days. So you save money.
Wow.
And we're ending in time. So because I know 250,000 people are going to go to Coldplay, we're ending in time so that
they
you
can
have
go.
enough time to get to Abu Dhabi for Coldplay.
Why you chose Dubai? You've been around the world doing in very exotic places like Six
so it's a really
Senses,
funny story.
Ibiza, like
Firstly, I love the people in Dubai. The people in Dubai are my kind of people. They're very positive. They want to change the world. It's diverse. It's world-centric. But around I think 3 years ago, I was speaking in Sharjah, and this man heard me speak and said, "Hey, you need to meet Muhammad Alabar, the CEO and founder of Emar."
Yeah.
So Muhammad Alabar was gracious enough to invite me to a beautiful one-on-one dinner, and I was so appreciative of his time. And he told me the story of how he built the Burj Khalifa, and he told me the story of how the founders of Dubai, their ambition, their vision for the future inspires him daily. And it was so inspiring. And then he turned to me and he said, "I built this site for the World Expo Center. Think, what can Mindvalley do there?"
Oof.
And he seeded that in my mind. And when I get an idea in my mind, it will manifest. It doesn't matter what the idea is, it'll just happen. And so this is that result.
Wow. I love that.
And we want to make this event bigger and bigger and bigger. We want the entire world eventually coming
here.
to Dubai. Our first year, it's not going to be the biggest personal growth event in the world, but eventually we want to get it there. And through this event, we want to change our dialogue of what it means to be human. What is the future of humanity? What are the true things we need to be teaching our kids, teaching in our schools? What are the true topics to bring to work so we show up as our best self? What are new models for work, for relationship, for connecting, for health?
How about affordability, Vishen, for the event?
We make it really affordable. We just opened up the website yesterday.
Okay.
And starting ticket prices are so affordable, but the price goes up like every few weeks.
A person would think, okay, I'm sure Mindvalley is super credible. You're super credible. But people say like, okay, if I say like the 3 things that people get out of this event, getting into the event for 3 days, committing to 3 days of personal development, though there is Coldplay concert, I'll go to Mindvalley, of course. What they will get out of it in 3 bullet points.
So, first thing is, you're going to learn how to optimize your work week so you save an hour a day. Save a day a week. Think about what you can do with an extra, 8 hours a week. Number 2, you're going to optimize your body for living longer, for greater energy, for greater body tone. Third, you're going to learn new ways to master your mindset, because your mindset determines everything. And there is a fourth which I have to talk about, even though you told me 3. Community.
Yes.
The people who come to this event are really special. We're releasing a new app that will connect you to people that we predict you can have a close friendship with.
No way.
So you are going to leave with new friends.
Wow, I love that. Okay, I'm coming. All the best. Vishen, there is something that hit the news, I think a couple of weeks back, about Mindvalley in Apple. Wow. Can you tell the people about it? You're pretty in bed on the phones now.
We got selected by Apple to be the app that they use as a feature app on iPads and iPhone, all Apple devices, iPhone 16. So in some Apple stores, you will see it only on the iPad. Some Apple stores, you'll see it on the iPad and the iPhone. But Apple was so impressed with the quality of our new app. The app is not out for the public yet. Okay. It's going to start getting released. Our current app is going to get updated with all of these new features.
Wow.
But it is the most beautiful learning app in the world, as far as I'm concerned, right? And
Congratulations.
hopefully as far as Apple is concerned as well. So that it will be, so we are proud to say we are featured now in Apple stores globally.
Wow, congratulations. AI. How are you utilizing AI in personal development?
So we have so much incredible content on Mindvalley. Now, all of this content is organized in such a way where it's easy for an AI to read. So we just launched an AI called Eve. Eve stands for, well, Eve is my daughter's name.
Yeah.
But Eve also stands for Everyone Elevates. So the more you use Mindvalley and the more you give us feedback, the AI learns from that. And you can go to the app and you can say, hey, listen, I'm having a really lousy day. I woke up, I didn't get enough sleep. My wife is upset with me. What do you recommend?
No way.
And it'll recommend the right lesson, the right program you may want to take, the right meditation you might want to listen to. So it's getting better and better.
Wow, that's out now?
Yeah, it's out now.
Oof. I really love that. I want to try it.
Yeah.
So you say your feelings, your situation,
right.
And it's recommends for you.
And it's still a beta version, but it's getting smarter and smarter and smarter. The more people use it, the smarter and smarter.
How you see we're going with all this tech and AI?
Eventually, what's going to happen is that we hope to build an app that can be your sidekick in life, right? If you're Batman, this app is Robin.
Yeah.
We don't want to take the spotlight off Batman, but we want to be there to assist you. You have a sleepless night, We'll recommend ways you can improve your sleep with cognitive behavioral theory, with the right supplements. You're having an issue with relationship, depending on what you're facing, we might bring up a top relationship teacher to help you resolve that issue in 20 minutes. You want to master something new like speed reading?
Yeah.
We have the world's finest speed reading course, and it's been proven in studies that in 7 days, 20 minutes a day, you improve your reading speed by 270%. All of these things unlocked through the Mindvalley app.
Oof. Vishen, personally, what was your favorite failure to date? Like something that you really failed
My
in.
favorite failure?
Yeah, fucked it up, and then like, oh my god, that was a great lesson.
I love that question. My favorite failure to date was that story I shared. I raised $2 million for a startup, and I abandoned it after 6 months. I didn't let the startup die. I just gave up my shares. I was the CTO. Okay, I was the Chief Technology Officer. I realized I was doing something that didn't align with my soul. I was doing something purely for fame and money,
And it didn't work.
and I wasn't happy. That was my favorite failure because it made me realize that life is too short. I want to build a life where it's about freedom, but it's about, of course, money gets you a lot of things, but it's about something that really connects with my heart, where I wake up every day excited to do something good for the world, where I have the freedom, where I can be healthy, where I still have time for my kids, not the stupid startup grind where you break yourself
Yeah.
for chasing someone else's idea of success.
Oof. I love that. And if I switch it to the proudest moments, you know, as a friend, I can say I'm proud of a lot of things. That,
Right.
Yeah. But for you, what was the proudest moment?
My kids are amazing human beings. Like Hayden and Eve, like the proudest thing is the way my kids were born. And this is not just me, it's also my ex-wife, Christina. She's an amazing mother. We are very close friends. I mean, my kids, they are both insanely smart. They are insanely fit. You know, we work out together.
Yeah.
Not only are they the smartest kids in their school, the natural leaders in their class,
Wow.
but they've been both voted by their teachers as the kindest kids in their class.
Oof.
And they're just so confident. They are so confident, not in a egoistical way. They are super kind, but they just know who they are.
Respect.
Yeah.
Of course, that comes from the family. Last time you defined an alpha in a way, and if I ask you today, how do you define an alpha?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think my idea of, now, I assume you're talking about alpha males.
No, an alpha, because alpha is a male and a female. Depends.
got
like,
it, got
how do you define it for?
So if I can be honest,
Yeah.
okay, if I think about an alpha male, I think about someone who's a leader, but there's a problem with the current definition of an alpha male. Many alpha males believe that it's all about,
Macho, yeah.
I was interviewing Justin Baldoni.
Yeah.
He wrote a book on masculinity, and it was a very interesting a concept he shared. Men need to be tender. Men should have their protector side, their masculine side. But there's an aspect to masculinity where we have to be tender. We have to be loving. We shouldn't feel afraid to cry in the arms of our woman. If you just look at the pure masculine ideas, right? Efficiency, productivity, like power. You could put that in a robot, according to Baldoni. You could put that in a robot, and these are very robotic things. But if you wanted to give the robot life, you would give the robot feelings, intuition, softness, tenderness, empathy. These are classically feminine qualities. The alpha is a man who is powerful in his masculinity, but has this feminine side, and that he can tap into.
Wow.
And an alpha woman is a woman who loves her femininity, the way she dances, the way she moves, the way she's tapped into her emotion, her nurturing, her caring, her compassion. All of these are beautiful feminine qualities. They make women so attractive to us men. But that woman can also build a business, can build an empire, can be a world leader. And she's in touch with both of these sides. So alphas are people who have access to both their masculine and their feminine quality and can play that dance with both to be a complete human being.
Wow. I loved how you define it. And then I want to also ask a question. For Mindvalley, the community, what is the rate between male and female?
We are 60 to 65% female.
Female. Why you think that?
Well, a lot of the stuff that we started teaching, meditation, intuition, women were primarily more interested into that. With men sometimes follow personal growth that is designed that's designed for men, but very incomplete. They make incomplete men. The gym bros, all about muscle building, right?
True.
No, I mean, come on.
True.
Your biggest muscle is your brain, right? Or they follow certain male teachers, and I don't want to mention names, but we know who these male teachers are, who talk about toughness and masculinity and say there's a crisis in masculinity, which is bullshit.
True.
Bullshit, absolute bullshit. And if men want to be truly complete, they want to be truly alpha, you gotta take on the soft side as well.
True.
Tap into your intuition, learn empathy, master kindness, learn how to listen, learn how not just to game a woman, but to protect, to nurture, to elevate, to make love to a woman in a way that is truly honoring who she is. But there's lots of male channels out there, lots of male teachers who are diverting men into this outdated concept of masculinity.
I love that. And I see it a lot, actually. I love that. Vishen, we have a section of quick fire. So I'll ask you a couple of quick questions. So what is the most important lesson you've learned as a leader?
The most important lesson is always lead with a vision. The bigger the vision, the greater the gift you're giving your followers.
Wow. How do you stay motivated during challenging times?
I think of challenges as things which, like a gym workout, are going to make me stronger.
What is the most surprising thing you've learned about yourself through your journey?
I learned that I have an amazing ability to heal my own body as I talk to my body.
Ooh. How do you manage your time and focus?
I structure my days so that every single day I'm doing at least one thing really exciting. Like being on your podcast.
Ah, nice. I love that. So every single day there is one thing that excites you.
Yeah, and it could be going out for a movie with my
exactly,
kids.
true.
Right.
What is one misconception about personal development that you would like to debunk?
People think personal development is for broken people. No. The people who do Mindvalley, they tend to be CEOs, they tend to be politicians. They're some of the most successful people in the world. People who do personal development are not broken. They're people who are amazing. They just want to continue growing and growing and growing. And that's what makes them amazing.
Is there something that somebody has told you in the past that hurted you and you've never forgotten?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Someone told me I'm never going to succeed as an entrepreneur.
Somebody close.
Yeah.
Did you get back to them?
No, I just proved them wrong. I don't need to get back to them.
What is the best alpha advice you've received in your life that you consider that's the advice?
Take care of people. I live my life playing a little game in my head. I pretend I'm an angel, right? It doesn't make me feel I'm special or whatever. I just pretend I'm an angel, and whoever is in my life, my kids, my friends, I want to do something nice for them. My goal is to elevate everyone who comes into my life in some small way, make them feel and make them do bigger things, make them feel better, make them heal in any way.
It's been always like this vision, or it's like through?
No, I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
You see this watch I'm wearing?
Yeah.
This was given to me by a couple that met at one of my events. They got married, they met at the event, they got married, they now have 2 kids.
Wow.
This is what I mean by elevate. I live my life to help improve the lives of the people who I touch.
Respect. We have a section called the Alpha Choices. Couple of quick this or that. So hosting global events or expanding digital learning?
Expanding digital learning.
Personal development courses or Mindvalley University?
Personal development, Mindvalley University.
Leveraging technology or building community?
Building community.
Large corporate partnerships or like Mindvalley movements?
Mindvalley movements.
Expanding globally or focusing on specific regions?
Globally.
Vishen, what would be the last message you want to leave the audience with today?
I think of everything we discussed today. There was one theme, and that theme is caring. Caring for the woman you're with, caring for society as a larger whole, understanding that we are given as kids barriers around caring by told that people outside our race, our ethnicity, our religion, our national identity are different from us. That's bullshit. Caring for all human beings and all life. That is the surest path to happiness, to spirituality, and a more peaceful world.
I love the ending, but I want one more statement for you, for the audience. What's your vision for January event in Dubai?
I want to create an event that gets human beings to think about what it means to be human in a completely different way, that plants in their mind the seeds of what the future holds for humanity, that allows them to start thinking about their priorities in life, what they want to focus on, the world they want to build for their children in radically different ways. Because humanity, like, we're at a tipping point right now.
True.
There's so much change happening in the world. There's a lot of chaos in the world right now. And there are exponential technologies which are about to disrupt the way the world works. If we don't grow consciousness at the same speed we are growing technology, we risk becoming a species with tech that can destroy ourselves without the consciousness to own that tech.
Wow.
And that's a frightening idea. So we have to elevate consciousness as rapidly as we're elevating our powers of technology.
I love that. Love it. Vishen, thank you very much. It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure and an honor. But before we finish, we have another section which is called the Alpha Talks Memoir, where I'm gonna ask you a question from the previous Alpha guest.
Okay.
You don't know who he is, but you will write the same question
Right.
to the next Alpha guest. And I want to read your question back then, back
yeah.
in the days. Okay, it's like not super interesting, but okay, let's go ahead. What's your favorite restaurant here?
My favorite restaurant in Dubai.
Kind of.
So yesterday I tried this really amazing Middle Eastern place called Nineveh. I think that's
where
pretty
was
good.
that?
It's somewhere in the IFC.
Ah, nice, Nina. I'll
Yeah.
need to try it. It's a nice one.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
We'll try it. Vishen, thank you very much. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure, and I look forward for everyone to attend the Future Human in Expo City. It's in January, and I'll leave the link in the description, and we see you there. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
That wraps another inspiring episode of today's show. I hope that this episode has ignited your inner alpha and left you feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to conquer any challenge that comes your way. Remember, alphas aren't born, they're made. It isn't about dominating others, it's about embracing your authenticity, leading with integrity, and making a positive impact on the world. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the Alpha Talks on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review and share the podcast with your fellow alphas. Also connect with us on social media at Seif El Hakim. Share your thoughts, insight, and stories of personal and business growth with us. Let's create a movement of alphas supporting one another. The world needs more alphas like you exactly. Until next time, stay bold, stay driven, and stay alpha.